Hey everybody, welcome to 30MA, 30 minutes of awesome. Welcome Alan, welcome Philip, lots of questions looks like. Maybe I can talk about it here. Let's see. And what's on tap? We got Apple earnings, we've got FOMC, we've got tons of other earnings. I mean, it's a busy economic week. All right, we got the FOMC started today, wraps up tomorrow. Unlikely to produce a rate change announcement, but as far as it goes, we may see the market unclinch. We may be kind of like waiting for the FOMC to be able to move. We're just kind of stuck at the bottom. And what happens? That's a good question. Happy hunting. I mean, haunting. Yeah, hey, it is happy Halloween. Anyway, if you want to chat with me like all these fine folks, all you got to do, become a channel subscriber right down here. Right, click this little green icon right here where I am and become a subscriber to the channel. A few seconds later, the live stream chat is enabled while I'm live. If you're tuning in after I'm no longer live, I mean, we're live right now at 5 p.m. Eastern time. If we're no longer live on Halloween Day, October 31st, 2023, if that is not what time it is right now when you're watching, which, for those of you chatting, it's right now. But if you're watching later, you're going to have to leave a comment or look in the description. You can come check out Discord and talk to me in Discord. I'm there quite a bit. I'm not going to say all the time. I've been doing a few other things in some of my free time lately. When I don't have a lot going on, I'm there. I've got a few projects going on that are taking a little bit of my time. And, like I bought a HVAC system that runs off of solar power, like directly, runs off of DC current, DC, direct current. And I bought some more solar panels. I've got some solar panels. I bought more solar panels to hook this all up. I've been working on that project. And believe it or not, I spent like $1,500 on HVAC in over the last year, the last 12 months. I have an energy monitor thing I put in my box, and this company offered me a 2-ton unit with solar panels to run it for free delivery actually, through Signature Solar. Not endorsing them or anything like that, but they had a free shipping deal, and enough power with the solar panels and the unit, and should be able to run my whole house. And that system costs less than $4,000 delivered. I spent $1,500, so do the math. Roughly 2.5 years, I should be able to recoup the cost. And the solar is twice as big as the power needed for the HVAC unit. So with a little bit of batteries that I already have purchased, the Powerwall I'm building myself, that very well could offset that cost and come out even after a couple of years. So a little bit of investment in the Turnmeyer household HVAC system there. I bought the HVAC unit when I bought the house. It was the highest unit I could. I think it was a 14 SEER at the time. This new unit's like something ridiculous, like a 23 SEER or something like that. And so we'll see what happens. The project, it's taking my time, and I'm working on it. I mean, engineering stuff, that's what I do. Tinker, mess around, do things different than what other people do. A lot of people have to hire people. I can just buy this stuff and build it my own. Anyway, interesting stuff, right? Anyway, so welcome everybody. Welcome. Looks like we got Ronald. Hello from Comics BC. I've been out in British Columbia once. Went out there and took a cruise up to Alaska. Anyway, hey everybody. Alan, Francois, Rongamer, good to see you. What a day. If y'all missed the story this morning, you should go listen to it. It's a pretty good Halloween story I told this morning on the video. Yeah, HVAC people don't usually let you purchase more than their calcs. Well, guess what? I bought a unit. I bought a unit from Carrier. I actually had to go down to Atlanta to pick it up. I ordered it through their factory, whatever down in Atlanta, and I went down there and picked it up. It's kind of, I guess it's the advantage of running your own company, in the construction industry. I got people that'll sell me stuff. So anyway, that's the engineering side of the business. Yeah, it's beautiful fall colors, right? Mountains are beautiful this time of year. You got beautiful sunsets, beautiful sunrises. Yeah. Well, I mean, so I took continuing education classes in designing solar systems also. So it's not like I'm just jumped into this and I'm watching a few YouTube videos. I mean, I took hours of continuing education classes on designing solar systems to learn how to do this. So it's not like I don't half as my wife's family says, I don't half go into anything. Ask JT a question about anything. He may not know immediately, but give him a couple weeks and he'll probably be an expert on it. So I mean, that's just been the experience. So hold off on the request. We'll get to that in a few minutes. So we do have Apple earnings coming up this week, FOMC, and 30 minutes of your requests. So glad to see everybody, and let's go ahead and get going. Let's get going. Yeah, I thought most of it was going to get going yesterday. Looked like it knocked about half of the leaves down yesterday, and we had a little bit of wind and a little bit of rain, but cleaned out about half, maybe half. I don't know, maybe only about a third. So what we have, if you haven't been on the morning show, earnings this week, and it's a big set of earnings. Look, I mean, this is what we got this week. Today, the 31st, we had 79 before the open. We got 66 here after the close. 66 companies reporting earnings. Tomorrow morning, we have 99 before the open. 211 after the close. After the FOMC rate announcement at 2 p.m., we have 211 companies reporting earnings. Then, Thursday morning, before the open, we get another 209. So right there, you got 420 companies right there. 420 companies reporting earnings between Wednesday night and Thursday morning. Then another 187, including Apple, coming in after the Thursday close, and 74 more before the Friday open. So there's a few earnings going to come out right there the rest of the week. We're sitting right here after the close, and we're just hanging out right here, basically, in this chart. There's quite a few companies reporting earnings before Friday. For the open on Friday. Quite a few. That could be some market moving stuff, all right? Be prepared. Keep track of when your holdings earnings happen, and keep track of the charts. The charts can turn bearish before the earnings, and often they do, and result in negative reactions. So here's some of the most anticipated ones from my friends at Earning Whispers. I don't actually know them, but I steal their chart off of x.com, the platform formerly known as Twitter, I guess. Yeah. So we got AMD coming in here. First Solar, Paycom, some of these things we can go look at. Caesars, Lumen, Livent, ONEC, Assurant Health, Match Group. Then tomorrow morning we'll have Norwegian Cruise Lines, CVS, Humana, Wayfair, Heinz, Kraft Heinz. I can't ever forget the joke about what's his name? My lady owns ketchup. Anyway, Generac, Apellis, Estee Lauder, First Builder. If Kimberly was here, she'd know what I'm talking about. PayPal, Roku, Qualcomm. The big dog of the week, Apple, coming in right here. We'll look at the charts, but looks like we maybe turning a bottom in Apple. So this earnings could be positive. We're actually entering a bullish period of the year for Apple too. So beware. All right. Any questions on that before we roll on? FOMC meeting. That's the big hold your breath moment for the week. Coming up tomorrow at 2 p.m. right here. FOMC statement right there. Then the press conference at 2:30 p.m. Ever since Jerome Powell's been the president, he cannot resist doing a press conference after every single FOMC meeting. Didn't used to be that way. As long as I've been trading, it's like every other one. Ever since Jerome Powell's been it, every single time. He just can't. I guess he just can't not be in the limelight. You know, he can't just. He's got to do a press conference. Got to get out there. Got to protect my empire, I guess. Anyway, he'll be out there speaking 2:30. Usually that's a volatile speech. It may not move huge, but usually it we get some up and down, even if it's just 30 points. I mean, sometimes we get 150 point moves. So likely to be volatile. Doesn't mean down, doesn't mean up. Could just mean sideways. We'll see what we get. All right. Usually it happens in three waves. We usually get an initial wave, a retrace, and then another wave. And it doesn't have to go anywhere. It does typically happen in three big moves. So we'll see what happens. And then about half the time this year, we've taken the whatever. If we did get a move, we've taken it back the next day or the next 2-3 days. So just be careful out there. All right. I can't warn you enough. That's coming up tomorrow, 2:00 p.m. when the market is open. It's 2 p.m. Eastern. We have time change this week in the U.S. So I'll be living in the dark times, I guess, starting next week. Seems like I'll get up in the dark and go back to bed and go home in the dark, always in the dark. Anyway. All right. It's supposed to be like daylight savings or, I guess, some kind of time savings deal, but it feels like I just live in the dark. I mean, if I'm honest about it. All right. Moving on. Let me jump back to my favorite side here, and let's look at the S&P. Nice bounce right off the support. Nice bounce. Can we get continuation? Can we break back above this little zone right up in here? That'll be the initial sign that we're probably done with downside for now. Breaking back above here, back above the roadmap line, of course, positive. And then we have resistance up here. Now, I was talking about this. This became possible after Friday, is that we could see a giant move down if we retrace to that 618 level and turn down once again. And it could be a doozy. All right, be careful. This is a red flag, red caution, red light flashing, red light situation. Caution. Be freaking careful, all right? If we turn down from that zone, it can easily lead to a lower low, and it could be lower than what we saw in October of last year. Please. If we start being wishy-washy on the way up here, I'll probably have another week or two to warn you. But if everything's looking corrective and overlappy and nasty as we get up in this zone, my gosh, it sets up for a potential crash that could this type of thing could go fast, like a month or two. I mean, we could see some pretty gnarly drops in the market. That's what we have set up right now. We didn't have it really set up until Friday. Friday kind of changed things. Now, what happened Friday? I drew a big arrow right here. We overlapped this high. This is what got me very concerned. Once we overlapped this high over here, it mucked it up. It made this, but it put this potential on the chart that we could see a big down and a big crash and a swift move down. I mean, it could be a month, could be 2 months. It could last well into next year. Now, that's sitting out there. Please be careful. Please be careful. If we get a rally, don't get complacent. Watch out. All right. We bounce off this zone once more where we topped out. I mean, right here, we topped out. We top out there one more time. Roll over. The next time we break down, it could be a doozy. Very cautious. Very cautious right now. We probably will get a rally at least back up into this 4350 area, if not up into this 4400. Could be as high as 4500. But if we turn down, don't hold the roadmap line. Watch out. I mean, seriously, watch out. All right. I'm not even joking a little bit right now. So, all right. Let's go ahead and look at Apple since they're the big dog of the week. This is actually looking a little positive here. Came right down in the zone. Look at that. Just scraping the top of my target zone. That's pretty good. Pretty close. Didn't really have to go any lower. We could see another drop. Don't really expect it, but we could get another extension down to 158. But this is looking like we may go higher. Now, the thing to watch right here, that's a set of 3 lower highs. You know, this high was lower than this high. This one's lower than that one. That one's lower than this one. That's going to be a significant resistance to going higher right there. So please be careful. This could be the bottom, but it doesn't have to be. We could go lower. I mean, that's lower, lower, low, lower, low, lower, low, 3 in a row. Be careful. I can't tell you right now what to do because we're not quite there yet. Like, the market conditions are probably going to change by the time we get up there. Things are going to look a little different. So I'll have a plan by the time we get up there. And it may not set up. Like, if everything looks nice and impulsive on the way up, we may not have to worry about that. Like, it may just correct, come back to the roadmap line, bounce, and go higher. So stay tuned. You know, keep coming back. Keep checking in with me. I'll stay on top of this the next couple weeks. But this is set up a potential for a crash. Yeah, we're not there yet. We're probably going to crash from up here if we do it, not from here. Like, if we just go down here, the market doesn't have much strength left to continue on down. So we've still bottomed out in this S5FI. We've created a higher low. This thing is probably going out to the 80 zone. And we could see this pop up here to 80, everything get really bullish looking, and then whoa, baby. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, we're unlikely to just turn down from right here. I mean, we could go lower low. If we keep chopping, it's just going to be a choppy mess, and it's going to be hard and difficult to trade. It's going to keep being like we've had for 3 months. If we turn down here and go lower, and we'll probably come up here. We're just stuck in almost a channel. Where's the channel tool? Right there. And we're kind of stuck in this channel thing, this channel-y. So if we turn down from up here, could just fart around in there. Not my ideal situation, but we could. Looks a little better like that, but it's not very good. I mean, the channel's not very clean, but we could just continue farting around in the channel. So significant resistance right there. Could fake everybody out, and then we crash. I mean, I don't know. I'm putting it out there as a potential. Like, I know it kind of freaks everybody out a little bit, but I don't hear anybody else talking about this right now. So I know of one other person, but for frick's sakes, be careful. All right. This thing's potentially set up on the chart. S5FI probably will rally back up to the 80 before we get there. So watch out for this thing to pop right up to here, and then we could go right back down to here. We tend to, once we get above 80, we tend to go below 20. Once we go below 20, we tend to go above 80. This thing needs to slow down. We keep getting extremes here. We were extreme back here in August. I was warning about the fact we were probably going to go below 20, and we did. Now that we're down here below 20, we're probably going to go back up and visit 80 again. That could be what we need before we go down again. Volatility could increase. So, last year we were down here, way down here. This year we didn't quite go that low. But we made a seasonal trip back down into the lows here. The year before that, October, while the market did pull back, we didn't really see it break down below the 20. We were kind of, after this big COVID drop all the way down into almost zero, we spiked above 80 and then just kind of rode in the zone. And we were getting dips down here and then riding up to 80, and we would get these dips. Everything was kind of okay, and then we started dipping lower, got extreme, got extreme, got extreme, got extreme, got extreme, got extreme, got extreme. We've been in this higher volatility, big swings in the market. All right, this is stocks above the 50-day moving average, and it's just kind of a different way to look at the market. Now, yes, like I was talking about, this could be the bottom for now, but tomorrow, definitely, the market's all waiting. Today, the price action drifting higher, but it's overlappy and not awesome. All right, I was kind of guessing kind of this morning that we would see a retest of the hourly roadmap line. We popped up there and turned down. Funny enough, this thing works on all time frames. You want the link, you want the roadmap line, link is in the description, or you can go watch the YouTube video in my history. Back around the start of the year, I had my favorite indicator, me going like, or whichever way, that way. Anyway, there you go. Turn down, kind of overnight. I expect it to retrace a bit, maybe break through. We'll see where we end up in the morning. We got a ways to go to the 4-hour and a ways to go to the daily. We will probably come up to there before we turn down. We'll see what happens. NQ, sitting at the roadmap line and looking at the smaller time frames. And just poked on through the 30. Didn't really get into the hourly. Kind of turned down at it, right into the close there. Just not a lot of story here so far. This is not overly bullish. Even Russell coming up to the hourly and turning down. We need to get above it. Need to get above all this. And this wasn't exactly beautiful structure. It looked like it could, but I don't. It's tough. This could all flush down to a lower low and clean this back up before we could go higher. So there could be the possibility of making a lower low tomorrow on FOMC before we could get a fast, swift dip and rip. Just be careful. Be careful. Be careful. The charts are not clear on what's about to happen. Oil finally hit that daily roadmap line all the way into it today. Beautiful move right down into 81. Now, took a while to get there, but we caught the tail end of my target right there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, what we watch for next is a bounce. That was a big 3-wave move. Beautiful. And did get the lower low that I was talking about this morning. Could we go lower? Yeah, we very well could. 77 would be the downside target if we don't turn green and break back above 83. Back above, I'm going to say like 83.50. It's probably my number. Put alert right there, 83.50. We start up there. That's probably the aggressive entry. Running the fib lines. High to low. Remove the other one. Back above that high is the conservative entry. Which high? This high right there. We are likely to go up to 98, 103, possibly even much higher targets. Have to pull this back further. This correction has been going on for a while. Possibly 150 on the next extension. That's where we could be heading. People say 150 oil. Well, it's on the chart that we could go blast off right on up there. Not going to be awesome if we do that. All right. Not going to be awesome, but it's potentially on the chart. Gold has been sitting right at its freaking resistance. Its prior high, unable to break above. Again, today we tried, failed. That's a bummer. We need gold to break above these highs. And do it with some kind of gusto. Back above 2020, and then we can look higher. So, alrighty. Bitcoin trying his darndest to break above 35,000. I think 36 is the next resistance. 36.5, basically. Next resistance up there. 36.4, 36.5. That's the next resistance. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And Ethereum is not bullish. Not until we get above this resistance. That can bounce right up here. Similar to the way I was talking about the S&P turning down in a big way. Ethereum could do that. It's still in this bearish correction territory with a large resistance built up above us. That resistance being where we rejected very swiftly and went down the toilet. We could do that again in a big way on Ethereum. Now, if we can break above that, target is up here around 2,300. There you go. All right. Yeah. Just come back later. Yeah, I'll get to your question either here or in Discord, Philip. Maybe in Discord. It's kind of like a involved question a little bit. So, dollar just kind of churning. If it breaks above this high, it did back at the beginning of October, probably going up to 108 resistance. If we can't break, the longer we kind of make these lower highs and not break above that, the more likely it is we go all the way back down here to the roadmap line. If we don't hold that, back down into the mid 90s. We'll see what happens here. See what happens here. Dollars are strong because everybody wants dollars right now because we're paying a freaking high interest rate on the DGS2. You go park your money and make a bunch of money off of the US. Dollar strong. Let's get it. Let's get some dollars. Now, it's kind of funny, though. You know, the interest rates are high, but the dollar is not nearly as in demand as it was back here. Anyway, this is likely to take us lower. We'll see what happens. All right. Flip over to the red list and hit a couple more things that I usually hit, like natural gas. Potentially working on a breakout here. Potentially. Can we do it? I don't know. I'm going to add an alert right there at 370. We bounced off the roadmap line. That next extension right there, I'm not convinced we're going higher on, but we came right up to the 360. 384 would be the next resistance before we could expect another retrace. Gasoline, looking like we may go on down. That went out the 1272. I mean, yeah, the 1272, back up to the 100, back down to the 1618 would be what I expect, but we don't have to. We could see some more downside. That 77 on oil might be what's playing out here. So be careful. Don't just buy oil now. We could get deeper down into the 77 area. Heating oil, diesel fuel, probably going a little lower. I would expect it to get a bit lower right down here. Does it have to? Shoot, no, it doesn't have to. It can bounce right off the roadmap line and go higher. If we break above 325, that's your indicator that we're going up to 370, possibly 4. This is wholesale prices. And yeah, otherwise I kind of expect it to go lower based on the pattern. That was a move down, retrace, bounce off the 618, push lower. Right down here would be the target. Silver, not nearly as bullish as gold. This is looking kind of gnarly and sideways and not supporting the cause at the moment. We start breaking out above this downtrend of lower highs, things change. But right now, not so bueno. Copper, also not so bueno. You know, on a macro scale, this is, I guess, economically looking like we may see a deeper plunge in copper. So, unfortunately, there's some things kind of lining up here that could indicate that big crash in the market. Copper being one of them. We start breaking below 350 on copper. Watch out. Probably going down here to the 270 area. At least, if not, down here to like 240. You're thinking we're bullish on copper. This has been a bearish pattern that I've had for, gosh, what, a year? maybe longer than a year. It's been cooking here. All right. That's kind of the highlights. All right, let's see. Roll through. I think I'll answer Philip's question in Discord. And let's see. KO is been bearish on the GLP-1 drugs and the fact that it failed the head and shoulders pattern. Got darn near close to the head. This thing mucked it all up for me. Not nearly like it was. Oh. To redraw it. Love how TradingView just adjusts the scale of everything occasionally. Super awesome. This guy right there. Yeah, basically did the head and shoulders failure pattern right there. Bingo bango. That can be the bottom. Could. See how that worked? That was like the shoulder, the head, the shoulder, all good and sloppy. We didn't break out. We tried, failed, retested the neckline, and then went the size of the head to the neck, to the downside. That could be the bottom. Didn't do that. Beautiful. I would expect one more. One more push down, actually. Break above the roadmap line, that can change the tune here, but right now, should go highest high, lowest low. Got significant resistance right there. And that didn't play out. So, look at that. That's funny. The target from this move right here was right there. The 1618 from this pullback right here is the same target. Isn't that funny? See if this lines up too. A little ambitious. Funny enough. All right. If you want to make a request, one per person, let somebody else go, and then you can make a request. So, alrighty. There was a request in Discord for somebody that couldn't make it, so I'll throw in their request before I forget. Melly reporting earnings tomorrow. Is that tomorrow morning? Maybe. Merco Libre, whatever. Mercado Libre. Let's see. Is it on? Yeah, it's on the. So it's tomorrow, right there, after the close. That's tough. I mean, we could definitely extend lower. I was kind of expecting it to go lower back here. Now that we climbed higher, I still kind of expect it to go lower. We've got significant resistance right up there. It's unclear. This pattern right here is unclear. It's not like Spotify that had a beautiful pattern. This one's unclear. Now, I did put out a chart of the week this week. Today, in fact, chart of the week right here, SVXY. You can go check my x.com, or I posted it in Discord. If you want to know, there's the chart. There's the levels. If you want to know the story, go check out my x.com or in Discord. So there you go. There's a couple tidbits there. All right. So moving on. DPST. Well, that looks pretty horrible, and I would venture to guess that we're going lower. Nothing about the banking situation has been cleared up yet. And as long as they're staying on their interest rates, there's a problem. There's your more regional banking. I had a target down here at 30. We haven't gotten there yet. And hate to say it, that looks pretty funky there. All right. Looks pretty funky. IWM, what do you know? I mean, I covered small caps. I mean, there's nothing clear here. We're right down to the target. Could it reverse here? Sure. Could it extend to 154? Sure. There's nothing clear, no reversal. Came up short of that. Didn't do any of that. Did the extension lower? Okay. There is not much clear here, unfortunately. Doesn't even look like it solidly made a bottom yet. So, super caution advised. I mean, super caution. This thing can go lower. 157, 147. If some way, somehow we can turn around. I mean, looking back at the futures have a little more complete picture of what's going on because it has the overnight data, no gaps. We're at support, but we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of things to get back above. Got to get it back above this zone. Got to get it back above the roadmap line. There's a lot to do. A lot to do. XLE. Golly, that looks like it's going lower. Let's be honest here. Look, this is a corrective move. The correction would look best if we made this extension right down here. Could it find a bottom here? Yeah, it could. But it looks better if it finishes it up right there. VRT. I do have to go to a Halloween thing at a friend's house to help pass out candy. Well, not really help pass out candy, more like help drink beer while they pass out candy. So I'll be cutting this off probably about 6. So VRT probably looks like it wants to come down here. I mean, it could just consolidate there and extend, but it would not surprise me one bit if we saw this come down right in here. We see a dumpster fire on Ford. We'll find a dumpster fire. Yeah, I already had Melly requested by somebody else, so there's Melly. Fast. Fastenal. Well, I kind of have a target up here, so that bounced off the roadmap line and could very well go higher. That's a lot of crap drawn on this chart. Already had kind of a target on up there. Or wave 5. So that could be the 1-2, and we could be on the way up there. Actually works. Yeah, so target probably a couple months from now, maybe out into March, up here around 66. And then I'd watch out for a deeper retrace. Alrighty. I think that was based on the log scale. Yeah. All right. HSY, Hershey's. You don't even have to wait for Ford. Look at this dumpster fire right there. Golly, man. Probably coming down to 167. Don't buy this. What? Why would you think you need to buy it? There's no pullbacks. That's just down and down and likely to come here. And if it doesn't find support here, it's going to come on down to like 140. I mean, look at the way up. You know, we had some significant moves. This one has just been straight down. What makes you think it's going to stop? There's nothing. And I mean, there's no like 3-wave move to it. It's likely going to be in a correction for a while. Even if we got a bounce right now, highly likely that we're going to come back up to this area right here and turn down again. If we did this, we'll probably do this and match whatever this move is. Even if we come down here and bounce, probably do this. Pull that down just a hair. Like that. And then, oh, wrong thing. Undo. And do that. 140. Not awesome. I mean, Hershey's is going to be not awesome for a while. That was one heck of a move up. We went from 100 to almost 300. It's got to correct that back out. All right. It's kind of like a conversation we were having about ELF today in Discord. It was just kind of like me posting a meme about it. But look, that moved like a meme stock. Straight the frick up. Watch out, all right? Probably coming back down to 65. If I'm honest about it, like probably in this zone. It could be as deep as that right there, all the way down to 45. It does that, turns back higher again. That's a huge opportunity for way higher prices. But, I mean, it ramped all the way up here to 140 off of 20 in just, what, a year and a half? A year and 2 months? 3 months? Yeah, it's going to pull back. Probably come back right down in here before we go higher again. Be careful. WDC. Hit that a few times in the morning. Been volatile. There's nothing clear because look at that gnarliness. Rejected the 618. Kind of indicates we're coming down here. That'd be the first move down. Retrace the 618. That's basically just the pattern I was talking about on Hershey. And we did that right there. We retraced that 618. Extension again. Right down there. It's not really magic. It's just the pattern. 33 would not surprise me. Not one bit. Sorry I don't have awesome information about Western Digital. Maurizio and Amazon. Oh, yeah. Didn't do the bearish thing. Beautiful. That is just a little bit away. Oh, man. We get above that prior high right there. Game on. Game on for 151, possibly 160. My target that I've been holding out. We almost got there. Almost. Came up just shy. I really am expecting the middle of this target up here, 155. We get above that right there, especially above the 618. It's kind of like confirmation. Probably coming right up in there. That's that high right there. That's the line in the sand. If the market turns bullish at all, we'll probably rip right up in there. Even if that leads to the bigger down, I think we'll see Amazon outperform. Looks pretty sweet. CLF, Cleveland Cliffs, whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of gnarly. Look at, it's not like a dumpster fire, but it's certainly not like, what makes you want to buy that? Please tell me, because that looks like a horrible chart. I mean, let's be honest. What do you see right there? I mean, I don't see anything. It looks like a big sideways mess of garbly gook. I mean, look at that. That's the range. That's the range right there. Set for you back in November up through January. I mean, that was a huge range for this stock, going from 11 to 22, doubled in price, and then went right back down, almost to the bottom again, and hasn't done anything. We're sitting right smack dab in the middle of that box, and we're under the roadmap line, basically. I mean, even though it poked above, we're still lower high. It's not awesome. Not awesome. That's long and the short of it. TSLA, Tesla. Now, if the market turns here, this could go higher, but kind of think we may see a little bit lower. It's entirely possible here that we get the extension. We've been sitting right on this 100%. That can be the bottom. That 196, that can be the bottom. Would not surprise me one bit to see a dip down to 179. Find a bottom and turn. That's why it's drawn on the chart. I thought we would see a pop first, but we didn't. So we could come up, we came up short on the upside. We could come up short on the downside and break out. Breaking above the roadmap line at 234-ish, 235-ish is your first indicator that we're probably going on up here to 350. Walmart's has been a chart of the week. I expect Walmart to go up to 169. That was chart of the week last week, week before last, something like that. There you go. That one's going to show some strength, probably come right up here. Even on, even if we just do the rally that's the lower high thing on the S&P and then turn down, Walmart likely to come up to 169. NEE. NextEra Energy. Yeah, showing some strength despite the energy sector. I mean, that was a wicked drop. Just correcting some of that. That's a 3-wave move up so far. Be careful, because if it holds that $60 area right there and turns down, we hold that right in there, turn down again, game on. We're going lower. If we hold the roadmap line and turn down, game on for going lower. Be careful on NEE. Can you comment on the correlation between IWM and SPY? There is none. It's IWM small caps. That's why I look at Russell independently. There's low correlation. I mean, there's some correlation because a lot of the same listings between SPY and QQQ are, the same. But very little of the same listings are between SPY and IWM. IWM is like 1,800 small caps, roughly. They call it the Russell 2000. Really, it's like 1,800 and 1,800-ish. And S&P is like a broad market swath of 500 companies. Pretty general, run most of the economy. IWM is like 1,800 of the small caps. All your regional banks are in there. And usually it's like a canary for the market. We can look at RYLD, and we see we've been hanging out lowest low here. I mean, that's a dividend pair. We look at the R2FI. There it is. R2FI. Looks kind of like the S&P, but really hanging out down here. Been down here for a good long while. Longer than the S&P has been on its NDFI. And we pop back above. R2FI just barely got above. So, different story, different segment of the market, different investment capital. Most of your big hedge funds and stuff can't play in Russell. So, that's your ETFs, your retirement funds. They can't play in Russell because while they can, if they're into the small cap stuff, they can, but if they're a fund that needs like blue chips and S&P stability, they're not going to play in here. They're not going to be buying that sort of thing. So my comment, they're not really correlated at all. IWM tends to lead the market into corrections and lead it back out of corrections. And right now we're not seeing the leading back out of corrections. We could go lower. So This was indicating we were about to do a correction when we chopped all last year while the market pushed higher. The market being S&P 500 and Nasdaq. While we saw small caps suffering, they got a small pop and then a huge drop. And then we started to recover, and we started to recover here and got hammered more. And then we started to recover this year into March, and then we got hammered again. Then we started to recover again in July, and we've gotten super hammered again. So we're back to right down to the lows. This could wrap up with a lower low, but right now it's gnarly. Really is gnarly. Got lots of stuff drawn on here. Been talking about lots of stuff over the. We've played out the head and shoulders. Played out perfectly to the downside. I don't have a lot of expectation to go lower, but it's kind of where it is. Board. Ouch, man. Broke below. Right there's the target. 775. Dumpster fire. There you go. Play the dumpster fire. At least it finally broke out of them. Wedgie crap. I don't know why these keep moving. It's so weird. Moved all my drawings are moved around. It's probably because I drew them a long time ago and then whatever. Get another move down, reset this thing, clean it up. Let's go again. Nothing awesome. Probably going to come down here to 7 again. Lower than we saw right back here. Bummer. Had such high hopes. It had such a beautiful pattern back here when I made a video last year. Then it went and mucked it right the F up. All right. Yeah, help drink beer and pass out candy. What better plan do you have for Halloween? Anyway, cat right there. That's the target. Discussed that this morning. There you go. Nothing changed from this morning. That was the target. I held that target for quite a while. Missed it here, came down and popped up right to it, then turned down, just like I expected. That's now the target. If we miss it, we'll probably come down later. That's the target. If we turn up from there, we can be talking about much higher targets, but if we break down below that, target's down here like 120. Mara. Not much to talk about. It's just rejected the roadmap line. Could it get an extension lower? It sure is. Blank can. That would be right down in this zone. 6 and 5. Is it likely to do that if Bitcoin breaks above 36? No. It's probably just doing a 618 retrace, which it's right there at. This could just be a measured bounce. So be prepared. See what it's done? Bounced off that 618 so far today. Beautiful. We break above. So here's the deal. We break above this right here, this consolidation, 3 days, 4-day consolidation. Break above that. 950. Game on. How high? Let's look. This is a little baby measured bounce. It's one of my most powerful setups I hunt in the market. That'd be 14 for now. Then we probably retrace and then break out probably above this high. Then retrace deeper and break out again. So looks like that would probably lead to that. Maybe up to 16, but then probably my expectation would be to do this. And potentially that. Maybe it could extend on that move up to there. Then we probably get another retrace. May come up short. Back to the roadmap line. Pretty wicked. That may correspond with the pullback I was expecting before having. And then it's game on for the big move. That big move can take us up here. Yeah. 3 digits. Triple digits. That's what it looks like we could see. Got lots of stuff to prove before we get there. That's what it looks like, though. And there'll be pullbacks in here. I mean, I didn't draw it all. That's why I'm long 6 figures or more. Cost was looking bearish. Holding the roadmap line area, can go on another extension. If it can hold that roadmap line, if it gets below that, it gets to below 530. Watch out. Like, we go with 330. So that's definitely like a line in the sand where this low was over here. We get below that, odds are we're going to visit 330. If we can break above this high, probably going on up here, possibly like 600. It's got a lot of stuff to do to work its way back up to the prior high. I mean, if it can get more bullish than what it's been doing, it has the potential to go to 737. But we start breaking below that roadmap line. Watch out. It can go down here very quickly. All right. Microsoft. I'm going to have to hustle here. Like I said, I'm going to have to go help drink some beer. Resistance right there. We kind of tapped it, retraced. Next breakthrough, probably pushing out to 381, maybe 400. That's looking pretty strong. That's like Amazon strong. I mean, that chart was a chart of the week. That got me pretty excited. I don't know if I can't remember if that was last week or the week before. I did Walmart, Microsoft, SVXY. It's been my charts, and they're all very strong looking. All right, Google got the retrace to the roadmap line. Bingo, bango. This one can turn now too. That's got resistance up here. Move this around a little bit. Arc down a little bit. So we've got resistance up there at 134. We get back above that. 147, 154, possibly up here like 174. That's for the big correction that we did last year. I don't think we got to the target yet. We came up in the zone where we can blast off. We need to retrace to the roadmap line and check back in because we hadn't done it since back here in April. So retrace, charge up some energy, can push out right up here, maybe to 174. Be a pretty nice move. Pretty nice move. All right, GIS, General Mills. Oh, God, continues to be the dumpster fire chart. That looks almost like Hershey's. Let's be honest. That looks almost like Hershey's. That's probably GLP-1 drug reaction. Didn't hold support. Barely held support. Would not surprise me one bit to see this go lower. May retrace to the roadmap line 70. Watch out below. All right, UNH is on a pathway. Targets are up here, 583, 615. We're working our way up. Came back to support. Hadn't visited the roadmap line since September. Be careful, but 583, 615. And that's C. It worked out. That did the bearish move that I thought it was going to do. ABC. Now we're on a bullish move. All right, LOGI. I had earnings last week. And pushing out to the targets. 79. I wouldn't expect much more than that. I mean, it could get to 85. That'd be right where this, like, right over here. Look, these highs. Oh, wrong highs. Right up there. Those highs. 85. Watch out for that move. That's resistance right there. All right. ENPH. Good gosh, man. Look at that. Another dumpster fire going down in a blaze of glory. Probably heading to the 52 area. Accelerating. We could pop back up here and go for, I don't even know where the 618 is. Whew. Crazy. RTX Raython has not been very bullish and still continues to not look very bullish. There's 6 o'clock. Market is reopened and resistance right up here where we consolidated and broke down from, where it happens to be the roadmap line, 85. Get above 85, we can talk about higher prices, but right now 85 resistance and support down here, 64. All right, ZS. I assume you mean Z-scaler, not soybeans. So support right down here at 146. And right now resistance on the upside, 182, 190. HUT has a similar thing tomorrow. Not quite the 618 retrace. Clean some stuff up. We moved up. Did the retrace, not quite to the 618. Did a 50%, which is kind of sort of like the, it's measured bounce adjacent. It's not the perfect proportions that I look for. HUT is doing a reverse merger. Be careful. They're doing a reverse split and a merger. So it's a reverse merger. All right. Be careful on that one. And I got to buy 10 Bitcoin now. What do you think? Buy it? Hey, I'd probably buy BTBT with at least part of the money. Buy some, say, December 2025 2.50 calls. Not sure that you would regret it, but you could. I mean, or you can buy 10 Bitcoin. I mean, probably, let's see, Bitcoin, BTC USD. I mean, I'm not against Bitcoin because I think it's going to 100,000. If it depends on how long you want to hold it. You want to hold it for a month? Don't buy Bitcoin. You want to hold it for the next 10 years? You'll probably be pretty happy. You want to hold it through 2025 into possibly 2026? You'll probably be pretty happy. We'll probably do a 5x from here, maybe 10x, 5 to 10x from here, and it's probably going to take you out to late 2025. BITO is just tracking Bitcoin. 20 is the next upside target that I have. Right up there. Kind of finding some resistance at these gaps. And we got right to the bottom of the gap. Remove that. Remove that. Come on, remove. Remove. Right here, this gap. Rectangle. That gap right there. You see we're kind of hanging out at the bottom of it. Pop it up. It's funny how the fib lines line right up with it. So 20 is the next kind of consolidation area right there. AMD is probably going down in a blaze of glory. Oh, right back above my... So I got this line right here at 96. Below 96, we're likely to go down here. Above 96, we could save it. Man, that one's blurring up the line right there. Nothing clear at the moment. I did go long when we faked me out right up here after we bounced off the line. Then we broke below the line. Then we're right back to the line. This is driving me crazy. I have some long options. We'll probably go to 0 if we don't break it back above. That's a whole series of lower highs. I'd give odds based on right this moment. Odds of going down here over going up here. All right. HLT. Is that Hilton? Couple more, and oops, that's SLT, HLT. It's funny, you can find all sorts of tickers on TradingView that you never even knew existed. And HLT, golly, look at that gobbledygook, man. What the devil makes you want to trade this? It doesn't even move much. I mean, 145, 155, $10 move, and it's been stuck there for, geez, a year, half a year. Well, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, 8 months. God, it looks horrible. Don't mess with that. Yeah, well, I mean, it's Paris Hilton's her family's company. Don't mess with that. Horrible. Horrible chart. Ugh. Ugh. I don't even like looking at that chart. NVIDIA bounced off the roadmap line today. This is big. That was all I needed. Look at that. Dun, 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 dun. Look, it touched. I'd draw a flash around it if I could. We touched. That was all I needed. We can get bullish on NVIDIA again. Now, there's the potential for it to play out the head and shoulders, but much more excitingly, that was a 3-wave retrace into the roadmap line. The extension would look like this. One. Reading it backwards. 531, 569. Upside targets. There you go. Alrighty. TSM. Yeah, if you're holding for 10 years, Ronald, we might get to $1 million of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin does this run, having run, and it's typically 10 to 20x whatever the low is. So I'll circle back to that in just a second. TSM looks like we're going to push down into this zone right here. The expected move would be right down there. All right. And let me circle back to Bitcoin one more second. One more. It's right here. This was the low right here of this last move. Right there. 15. We typically go on the next run, we'll go 10 to 20x that. That's the target zone. So that puts us, it's not on this chart. Right there, the low, roughly 15,347. So roughly $153,000 on the next run right up here. Maybe I have it on this one. Don't see it. I've got it drawn on one of these charts somewhere. Not on that one either. There's a lot of Bitcoin charts. Anyway, I bet it's in the crypto power plays set of charts. Anyway, we tend to go 10 to 20x. So right there, 15.3, 153,000 roughly, 154,000. I don't have the exact low at the moment. 20x, 300,000. Now, what happens after we do that? We will pull back. This pullback tends to be 60 to 70% that occurs after that move right here. This will be 60 to 70% of whatever that price is. So we're going to hit that 150 to 300,000 area right up here. And then we're going to do another epic pullback and probably stop right around 60,000. That'll be in 2026. And then that 60,000 will be the new 10 to 20x. So 600 to possibly 1.2 million. And that'd be the next cycle, right around 2030. So this top will occur likely 2026. This will be 2027, 2028. Then we'll run into the next cycle, 2030, right there. There you go. Alrighty. Have a good day, everybody. I'll be back live first thing in the morning, 9:15. Come hang out with me. We'll see what's moving, what's cracking. I mean, we've got, what was it? 299. And we got 66 tonight, 99 tomorrow. And then after the close tomorrow, 211. So, and we got the FOMC tomorrow. Be careful. Keep your alert in your phone. I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you like, Make sure you like. If I said anything you found beneficial, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell with the notification so you know when I go live in the morning and get that notification if YouTube thinks you'll watch it. Otherwise, I'll see you